everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So you all know about Meghan's pals there, her buddy there, Fulani Ngozi, aka Marlene Headley, and the other woman from the Fawcett Society, Aisha Hazarika. Well, Ngozi, you know, is the one who got herself as a +1 into an event she wasn't originally invited to, and proceeded to make a huge scene about claiming that because Lady Hussey asked her where she was from, that she claimed that she was a victim of racism, and that became a huge story. And of course, Meghan's PR blew it up and all over the news during William and Catherine's trip to Boston. And of course, the Aisha Hazarika has a long history. If you do a search on her, she's battled it out with Piers Morgan, and also Fulani, who's associated with the Wild Institute, I believe it's called the Wild Foundation, along with Aisha, who was part of the Fawcett Society. They both filed complaints with Ipso against Jeremy Clarkson, and a complaint about him to, they want to criminalize him for abuse and racism and whatever. They had like 3 different things. So they're criminally attacking him, trying to get him up on charges, so they're really attacking journalists, but in particular for Meghan Markle. So it's obvious that this Aisha and Ngozi work directly for Meghan Markle or paid somehow, making a living out of defending Meghan Markle and attacking established journalists and the royal family as well. So I'm wondering, we all know Meghan is going to be hell-bent on revenge now that she's lost Frogmore. And so I'm wondering what's going on with her and her buddies here. I mean, I'm sure it's not just these two. It's also a whole group of BLM people. They have it their beck and call. They work together in their little globalist network there. So I want to see, what are they planning on doing next? I mean, Fulani and Aisha have been doing this for years, and their activities. So I'm wondering, what are they planning on doing next together since they've been so successful, and how is their past successes, if you want to call it that, their attacks that were successes and that they did blow it up in the media, how is that affecting them, and what are they trying to do, and what are they going to do next, and see if we can get some idea of what they may be up to. So I've already shuffled the cards. I'm going to split the deck. I'm using black and gold tarot. Let's see if we can get an idea what this gang is doing. Now, they might not just work for Meghan. They could work for Harry, too. The two of them together. Because they are British. Let's see. See if we can get an idea here what they're up to. The 3 musketeers from hell here. 3 hags from hell. Let's see what's going on here with them. So in general right now, Ace of Pentacles reversed. I got this on a reading recently about Meghan, what she's going to do next, and this card came up. And remember, I was like, well, I was kind of thrown by it. And I'm still a little thrown by it. But now I think that when I saw this coming up next for Meghan, it involves these two. It's something involving these two. Dropping a story here. Something with money, making accusations about money, or trying to blackmail a royal family. But let's see what's the environment of it. Star reversed. I think that this could be like doing something to try to promote, the stars, like promoting something or someone. And Fulani or Marlene Headley has become somewhat of a star. And the other one, Aisha, she regularly appears on television to debate on television. She's been on the Good Morning Britain, all these other shows. So the star card reversed, of course, shows that this is their claim to fame. Their stardom is being advocates or apologists for Meghan, right? So I do see something here. They're going to drop something new. Possibly, Seven of Wands reversed. They may be feeling a little overwhelmed now, though. They may be feeling like the tide has turned. You know, they've been fighting for Meghan and trying to drum up support and trying to push the race car, but, you know, people are tired of that. They're sick of hearing it. It doesn't have the charge it used to, and as we all seen, Jeremy Clarkson still has his Amazon show, and still has his other shows. He's doing just fine. So they seem their tactics seem to be not working so well. So now this could be a purchase of some sort, or destroying something. You know, Ace of Coins reverse could be like taking something down, something, destroying something, like tearing down a statue or something of that nature. Like, I don't know if it's going to be that, but just the idea of taking something down, taking something away. So what's the basis of the situation? Oh, Four of Cups reversed. So their job is to emotionally rile people who don't care about this, right? What they're trying to do with their, you know, they're trying to, for people who don't pay attention, because it's like someone not paying attention, like they don't care about Harry and Meghan, whatever's going on with them, with the royal family. So their job is to get these people and shake them up, and for them to jump on board or sympathize without knowing all the facts, to sympathize with Meghan, right? And them. Right? So, you know, they always portray, you know, Meghan as a humanitarian. Well, I got news for you. The leader of Nexium, who's now serving a 120-year prison sentence, he called himself a humanitarian as well. So someone calling themselves a humanitarian is not necessarily a good thing. It could be quite evil and has proven to be so. Well, these two, Aisha and Ngozi, or Marlene, they both head charities, right? Because Marlene Headley Ngozi is in charge of, who has several different aliases. Not suspicious at all there, having 5 different aliases. Apparently, she is the head of a charity of Sister Space. And the other one, Aisha, works at the Foster Society, which is another charitable organization. So all these charitable women who are the most evil witches on the planet, but they're head of a charity. So they use this, you know, they disguise themselves. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. And they disguise themselves as a charity. We're here to help women. And they turn around and like try to get people fired and try to destroy their lives and their reputations. And also they're here, of course, to upset people and to rile people up. And that's their job. They're provocateurs, they're instigators, and they want to try to sway the general ignorant, people who are ignorant, not paying attention to know all the facts about Harry and Meghan, trying to sway them. So how do they feel they've done so far with the notoriety of their recent attacks on Jeremy Clarkson and Lady Hussey? How's that going? Oh, King of Cups. Well, their real object was King Charles, right? And they're happy that they got him. They're happy that they're doing things that are getting hit. Well, King Charles and, of course, Prince William as well, because that attack on Lady Hussey was directly in correlation to Prince William's trip to Boston, his big trip, first day on the trip. So they are, that was the objects of their hatred is William and Charles, and they're quite content with the work that they've done in upsetting them and forcing a fake apology to shut them up. And because, I mean, we know that King Charles and Lady Hussey had to do that pretend apology to Fulani Ngozi, aka Marlene Headley, because they swayed the masses about it being a racist thing. And because, you know, you can't educate everyone and say, no, look, this woman is a fraud, she's a criminal. Instead, because there's so many BLM people and with Antifa and whatnot ready to burn down buildings and create havoc and hell, to shut them up, they just did that fake pretend apology, and to avoid any, you know, more hysteria and support that they may have gotten from this fake act of, which was a total lie. There was nothing racist about it. It was a complete lie and a fabrication. But, you know, so far, But I think the tide is turning on this because have caught on to the race baiting and the lies, and that any liar criminal can say, "Oh, well, racist, a racist incident here, racist. Call the reporters, call the news." And of course, Vice News is right there to spread the fake news. So yeah, so I do see them wanting to destroy something here, though, for sure. What are they expecting to do together next? Oh my, Judgment. So I see a big announcement here, doing something to rile people up again. I see another Judgment judging the royal family, doing something to accuse them yet again, or a journalist, because of course Harry and Meghan are attacking freedom of speech as well as the royal family. It's anything to do with Western society they want to attack, whether it's religion, whether it's white people, whether it's you name it, whatever they want to destroy, they want to destroy it. So I do see they have big major arcana here, so they're working with a large group. So they do have high expectations of what they're going to do next. This could be a big announcement of some kind. Now, this could be a loss of a baby. Meghan could do another fake miscarriage thing going on. And we all know that Meghan tried to spread rumors of a pregnancy during the Queen's funeral. I mean, look how evil she is. How evil do you have to be so petty and vindictive and crazy that you're going to try to upstage a monarch's funeral, the most popular queen, the longest reigning queen in history, and you think that you're going to pull out, "Oh, I know, I can overshadow this. I'm pregnant. She really thinks that that's her ace in the hole. I do think she may try something like that again. Or she's going to claim that she had a miscarriage, possibly. That's something I'm thinking of with this, because this is like destroying something or something destroyed or losing something here. Something happening here. Because, of course, Meghan is going to do everything she can to play the victim card, right? And her and Harry, after they attack everybody and lie, and they never apologize for their lies. They never admit to their lies. They just deny they said it. They sat on Oprah and called the royal family racist, and Meghan's all, "Yeah, can you believe that? Yeah, Kate made me cry. And yeah, they're talking about Archie's skin color." And she's all like haughty and arrogant and condescending about it. And then she turns around later and has Harry say, "We never said they were racist. We never said that." I mean, they're crazy. They're trying to drive us crazy. That this whole thing that they're doing with, and you notice they never address, all throughout the COVID pandemic nonsense and all the craziness with that, they never addressed that. They were like doing their own crazy to make people crazier. So I feel that, and this Marlene Headley, Ngozi Fulani, and this Aisha woman, they are here to rile people up and get them even crazier with everything. They got the tyranny coming in. They're trying to start World War III with that clown Zelensky. And as if that's not upsetting enough, you've got these clowns trying to upset people with fake, fraudulent accusations of racism to make people even more upset and crazy, right? It's all about that. So I do see them planning on pulling another stunt or attempting to, how big it gets all depends on how much attention people pay towards it, right? Because they've been doing the successful attacks against Charles and William so far. They're quite content with themselves. So I do see them wanting to do something regarding destroying something, something's taken away. It could be that they try to make some kind of fuss over the loss of Frogmore. I mean, this could also indicate the loss of Frogmore, the loss of the property there, and trying to spin that somehow, trying to turn that into a racist thing somehow. But let's see, what do they not want? What are they most trying to avoid or not want people to think about or know about? Moon reversed. So, of course, the moon reversed, you think of the divisiveness with the two dogs. They're always trying to stir up the divisiveness and an excess of there. And they want to keep that hidden, how that's what their main objective is and what they're there to do, which is to divide people. And it has that. This has been going on for years, right? Since Harry, they've been working together for years now, since Harry and Meghan married. So they've been doing this undercover, divisive, instigating nonsense with BLM Antifa. So they don't want people to know that they're part of the same group, and that they're there to divide and conquer between the pro and the anti-Meghan Knights, or whatever you want to call them. But, again, I think tide is turning, and they're more on the defensive now, but still, they don't want people to recognize that they have been working together, that they do have a large coordinated group of BLMers who are helping them with, making fake repeated complaints online, and Twitter bots, Christopher Bosie and the Sussex Squad and all of that. They're all working together with this. These women, I'm sure, are involved with the Sussex Squad as well. So this is all, coordinated campaign, major arcana to make people crazy, the moon, while people were already upset and in fear with this tyranny and this COVID nonsense and everything else going on. To add on top of all that for these crazy women, these crazy deranged criminal women, to be taking such a horrendous time in history to act like shrieking banshees and screaming fire or screaming racism, right, in a crowded theater. I mean, they're really diabolical witches here. They don't care how they upset people or whatnot. They couldn't care about anybody but themselves. So what are they hoping to do? What are these witches hoping for? These wicked witches around the cauldron fire. What are they doing? These evil, diabolical demons. Yeah, they're doing this, of course, for the money, for the prestige, because, they're both in charge of quote unquote charities. And aren't charities a convenient way to launder money and receive money from criminals like George Soros? Isn't that convenient? And look at all the money that the Sussex Squad raised. It's really impressive that this angry, nasty, illiterate group of women were able to raise tens of thousands of dollars. Wow. Where'd that come from? Who's giving them all this money? Didn't know it was so easy. I didn't know all you had to do is put up a tweet, and next thing you know, boom, you've got $10,000. That's very impressive. If you don't believe me, why don't you try doing it yourself? Put out a tweet or a message and see how much money you get, because I can tell you, you'll probably get nothing. So there's a lot of suspiciousness with the money going around, and who's paying them, and who's donating to their charities there. Yeah, somebody's paying the Sussex Squad, that's all I gotta say. So they don't want you to follow the money. That's always the first thing in crime or in politics. They follow the money, right? So they are definitely funded by the globalists here. Like I said, George Soros and others they have very wealthy backers who are paying them to do this. Obviously, Fulani and Aisha don't work for free. You got to pay them, and pay them well. So they are being very well paid to do this. And, that's what they got to do. That's their paycheck, to be hysterical instigators and upset people and be shizzle stirrers. So how is the royal family affecting them? Excuse me. How's the royal family affecting them? Queen of Swords. Whoa. So they know the royal family knows all about them and is fighting back against them in the media and in other ways. So, but at the same time, they see the royal, they're still going to go after them. They're not intimidated. They feel better than them. And of course, they're paid by globalists to do this, to make them look bad, to try to turn the people against them. They're there to try, particularly the young people. They're there because, the young people don't care about this stuff, right? Young people don't care about Camilla and Jeremy Clarkson and all that. They're trying to get the young people riled up. And of course, that's what BLM's all about. But they see that the royal family is up on them and knows what they're doing. And this can be seen as the Queen Elizabeth card. They knew they're affected, but they're not stopping. They know that the palace is on them, and I believe Fulani was investigated, that her charity, quote unquote, was investigated. I don't know what ended up happening with that. I don't know why she's not in prison yet, but whatever. She's still making complaints to Ipso about Jeremy Clarkson. It's like, how is that? How is it Fulani goes from making false accusations of racism against Lady Hussey, and then turn around and start making reports against Jeremy Clarkson? She's a very busy woman, right? I mean, it's quite obvious that she works for Meghan and her gang. So what are they going to do next? They have high expectations of making some big changes and basically try to rile people against the royal family. That's their objective here, their main objective. And they expect to be successful in it. What are they going to do next? Ooh, Two of Coins reversed. Back and forth, making things crazy, kind of interrupting something here. I see them trying to reach, both sides of the Atlantic, possibly, because, you have him, he's in front of the ocean there, and they're both sides of the Atlantic. So I think they work with Sussex Squad, who are very much trying to influence, American audience. They're on YouTube and all of that. So I do see them creating more chaos, but I'm getting it's a minor thing. So I think that, or behind the secretive, I can see this as secretive as well. So I see them going back and forth between two things. Now, it's not just two sides of the ocean. This could be two projects that they're working on secretively, that they're going back and forth in between. So that could be, Sussex Squad stuff and something else, or this could be about the Jeremy Clarkson and something else. But I see two projects that they're working on right now secretively that they're hoping to disrupt, that they're focusing their attentions on here. Yeah. And what's going to happen in the long term, what are they going to do here? But they definitely want to disrupt something here, cause confusion. And I get, oh, look at that. World. That's like the globalist card there. That's like trying to promote me gain. They want to do something. They're going to do something on the world stage. They are going to possibly try to disrupt the coronation. I'm sure they'll try to do something before that. No doubt. Because they're going to be successful in doing another one of their stunts. Where they'll be on TV again. Now, this could be that because of the coronation, obviously there's going to be all these people on TV talking about it and covering it. So I get the feeling Aisha and possibly Fulani are going to get some spots on, Good Morning Britain and other TV shows and getting themselves. That's what Aisha does all the time. She goes on TV. So I see that they're prepping for that. They're prepping for their attacks against the royals from that, and also other programs, and putting the world out, because they know the world is going to be watching, right? The world is going to be watching that coronation. So this is why they want to act. They want to get their anti-royal, anti-Western, globalist, build back better message out during this coronation. So they're working on two different things here that they're focused on, two main topics or two main. I'm sure they're going to probably bring up the Lady Hussey thing, because right now in the mainstream media, as I said in another video earlier, the mainstream media lies and is claiming that it was a racist incident, and they're writing about Lady Hussey. Oh, Lady Hussey said something that was completely inappropriate and offensive. So they're still portraying Lady Hussey as guilty of doing something wrong by asking, where are you from? So the mainstream media is 1,000% behind the lies of Fulani Ngozi, aka Marlene Headley, because they have the backing of the globalists. That's how you know they have the backing of the globalists. Because read the mainstream media right now, even this week, things coming out. So I do see them regurgitating this story in the mainstream media and on TV, because again, the world will be watching this coronation. I do see them. I mean, not that it's going to in any way interfere with the coronation. Obviously, the coronation is a much larger, event and story, and everyone's going to be admiring that. But at the same time, I do think that they're going to try to piggyback on the media and everybody talking about the royal family and the world's attention on them. Obviously, they're going to do everything they can to be a distraction. Even if it's just a little bit, they're going to be doing what they can to tear down and ridicule and demean and play the fools, and detracting from the royal family, and possibly even protesting the coronation somehow and destroying something and leading up to it. Now, remember, during, I think it was the Queen's funeral, there were protesters that came out in the streets and tried to interrupt the procession, the parade. So I do believe the same people that Fulani and Aisha work with may have been involved in that, because again, we're talking BLM. It's a group of kids who will do anything to be crazy and stupid. So I see them trying to interrupt, stop. They're going to interrupt, stopping something, interrupting something, destroying something, leading up to the coronation that's involved with the coronation or the procession, interfering with it somehow, trying to be destructive to that, physically destructive. I mean, look, you have all these crazy BLM type kids that'll go out and glue themselves to the cement somewhere for whatever reason, for whales or something. So you know that because there's so many crazy kids that'll do the dumbest things that are very destructive and putting themselves in harm's way and blockading them, I do think that Fulani and Aisha are up to something with the youngins, possibly as well. I do get the idea of calling in their BLM young people and saying, all right, guys, you're on. You know, what does that Antifa say when they put out their notices on Twitter, like, you know, block up people. We got an event. You got to be here, whatever that they do. They make their announcements. So I do see that they're going to do something with them. And I do see it's going to have to do with the coronation. They're definitely going to be doing something, two things possibly, to disrupt and interfere with. So I would keep an eye out on Aisha and Fulani and what they're up to. They're definitely going to be doing something. They're doing it secretively, of course, for now, but it's going to come out for sure. So any disruptions or destructions around that, I think that Aisha and Fulani are behind it, with Meghan, of course. Let me see if I can get some more detail. What exactly here they're being destructive about? They want to take down, because they want to take down the star power of the royal family. They want to take that down. They want to put the hoochie mama, crazy woman, Meghan, in the center of attention somehow. Right, so what exactly is this they're trying to destroy? Again, young people there, getting them all riled up, meeting with them secretively, and riling them up and saying, go out there, go get them. It's going to be online as well as in person. It's going to be with their BLM group, the young people. They're going to rile up here somehow, making some false accusations, bullying. It's no doubt going to be attacking the press, too, if they can. But yeah, I think that it's going to be a lot of online bullying and in-person interfering with the procession or with the ceremony somehow, or the events, the celebration, because these Marxist communists can't stand anybody celebrating and having and enjoying and being happy about things. They can't stand it. They want you to be miserable and nasty and cruel like the Marxist communists that they are. That's what I'm seeing. So, yeah, I see them they're laying low for now, but they're going to come out. They're being destructive about something with their group. I think it's going to be something directly related with the coronation is what I'm going with. Yeah, they're setting the plans down now. So, I could see this as being secretive. Again, this could be secretively starting a new project here on the, the road of if there's a parade or whatever, which of course is going to be, right, a procession or whatever with the coronation. They're going to be doing something there to be disruptive and destructive, for sure. Yeah. All right, so look out. They're planning and plotting something, and they got big money behind them to do it, and they get well paid. When they pull off these stunts, they get extra money from George Soros or whoever's paying them, whatever globalist it is. It's probably Soros. He pays for most of these. But they are definitely still working on it, working on the next thing. They're not stopping, and it looks like they're going to be successful at it. So I think that when this event happens, obviously you're probably not going to see these two women's faces, but they're going to be behind it. They're definitely behind it. Whatever group of young people who are causing disruptions and destruction with regards to the coronation. And again, I get two things possibly going back and forth. It could be two groups. They could have one group at the beginning, one group at the end. There's like two sides to it, two events. They're going, rest assured that Fulani and Aisha are behind it, organizing it, getting the people together, paying them, etc. Yeah, because that is their job, to create mayhem and misery and upset people and ruin traditional celebrations and people celebrating and people being happy. They can't stand that. They're miserable and they want everyone else to be miserable like them, like the Sussex Squad. They want everyone angry and crazy like them. That's their goal. All right, and they're still working hard at it. Rest assured, Meghan and Harry are still working with these witches and their other BLM connections, and will do so up through the coronation and after, I'm sure. All right, so that is what I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.